tuning in to another episode of HISD TV. My name is Miss McCullough and I am the 4th grade math teacher for this video. Hi 4th graders, I'm so excited to see you for another week of math, another week of learning, and another week of getting it done and working hard. We are one step closer to the end of the school year. Are you guys excited? If you're excited, go ahead and cheer with me. Ready? Yay! Awesome work. I love when we cheer, when we high five, when we clap, we're interactive. I love that. Well, everyone, remember that today we need to be strong, focused, and attentive because we're going to go over some important things in this video. As always, you guys know that you need a few things to go ahead and learn your best with me today. So the first thing you're going to need is a pencil or something to write with. Go ahead and get that out for me. If you have a highlighter, also grab that. If you don't have a highlighter, look for a yellow crayon or a yellow colored pencil, anything to color yellow, something that we can just make sure that it pops out on us. The second thing, make sure that you have a piece of paper, or if you have your math notebook, go ahead and grab that. That's awesome. If you don't have your math notebook, no worries. A piece of paper will work just fine. And the third and most important thing that you're gonna need is you're gonna need to be focused, ready, and engaged. So that means that you need to get rid of all distractions. If you have distractors around you, go ahead and remove them or move somewhere where there's not so much distractions. I'm gonna give everyone around a couple of seconds to get ready for today's video and then we'll get started. All right, marvelous friends, you guys are ready to learn with me. You've got your items, you're not distracted, you're focused, you're ready. We're gonna go ahead and read the objective. Remember everyone, the objective tells us what we're going to learn and how we're going to apply what we learned. Very good. So what we're learning and how we're gonna apply that. If you're ready to read the objective with me, go ahead and give me a high five. Ready? Awesome. Let's read the objective together, friends. Today we will solve 1- and 2-step problems using data in a whole number, decimal, and fraction form in a frequency table, dot plot, or stem and leaf plot. All right, everyone, so you've read your objective, you know what you're gonna learn, you know how you're gonna apply what you learned, you're ready to go. Let's get right into the math. Make sure that you guys are following along with me and you're answering the questions that I ask. I ask questions on purpose to make sure that you guys are not only staying on track, focused and engaged, but also to gauge your learning. Now, although I know that I cannot physically hear you, it's awesome just to be able to answer the questions so that you know that you're following along and that you're getting it. All right? So go ahead, guys, get your items ready and let's get right into the math. Okay, 4th graders, new unit, new week. So we are beginning our new unit this week, and our new unit is all about data problem solving. So we're going to use different forms of data to solve problems. And as always with our new units, we are going to begin with our vocabulary, guys. Vocabulary is important, especially in math, because it tells us the important words that we may see over and over again in problems. So everyone read the first word with me. Ready? A stem and leaf plot. Yes, very good. A stem and leaf plot is a system used to organize groups of data in numerical order according to place value. So I'm going to show you a really quick example of a stem and leaf plot. And this is an example right here, guys, of stem and leaf plot. You guys can see that the stem serves as the tens place. Tens. And the leaves serves as the ones place. So if we have 2 in the stem and we have 1 in the leaves, that makes 21. If we have 3 in the stem and 0 in leaf, that makes 30. If we have 5 on the stem and 1 on the leaf, that makes 51. So remember, the stem are the tens and the leaves are the ones, kind of like the stem and the leaves on a plant. So that is stem and leaf plot. Our next word is frequency table. Say this with me. Frequency table. Very good, guys. Frequency table is a table that shows how often an item, a number, or a range of numbers occur. For example, if I were to take a poll, which is like a survey, and ask you guys what your favorite season is, I would have to list them in a frequency table. Fall, winter, spring, and summer. And then I would list how many of you guys like each season. So we can see here that 8 people like fall, 5 people like winter, 9 people like spring, and 6 people like summer. And that's a frequency table. Our next word is dot plot. Say this with me, dot plot. Yep. A dot plot sounds exactly like what it is. A dot plot is a graph that uses dots to show how data is clustered. So each dot, it has a rule here that each dot represents 2 students. So if I have dots on a graph, each dot represents 2 students, I know that 3 dots is 6 students because 3 times 2 is 6. And so whenever you have a dot plot, it'll usually tell you guys a rule right here with the dots. All right, so our next word here is key. Key is the part of a graph that tells what numerical amount each symbol represents. For example, when we were looking at the dot plot tells us that each dot represents 2 students. So it's usually found in a little box, and that's the key. It's usually labeled key. Key is kind of like rule. So whenever we're talking about graphs, the key is just like the rule. The next word is scaled interval. A scaled interval, guys, is the constant difference between adjoining numbers on the axis of a graph. This line right here is the axis, okay? And so the scaled interval is the difference between the numbers. So here we have 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. We know that the scaled interval for this graph is 4 because each space or each difference between each of the numbers is 4. Listen to the numbers again and tell me if you can hear or if you understand the rule, the pattern that tells us the scaled interval. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. Do you guys see that? Perfect. The next word is survey. Survey is collecting data by asking a group of people the same questions. So this is just like if I were to ask you guys a survey on, for example, your favorite lunch. People can say pizza, sandwich, or salad, and I would just tally every single person that would tell me what their favorite lunch was. So if they said pizza, I would put a tally under pizza. If they said sandwich, I would put a tally under sandwich. So it's just collecting data by asking a group of people the same questions. So speaking of surveys and tallies, remember guys that a tally mark is just the mark used to record ongoing data. So it's just little marks like this. And whenever we cross them horizontally like this, we know that that represents 5, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So whenever you guys see tallies like this, you know that that represents 5. Our next word is numerical data. Numerical data, guys, is information collected about people or things that can be counted or measured. For example, the number of books read over the summer, or the amount of food people eat in a day, or the amount of water people drink in a day, or the amount of steps people take in a day, right? So those are all examples of numerical data. It's just things that we can categorize into numbers. And our last word is categorical data. This is data that can be grouped based on a particular category, like flowers in a garden, or food for lunch, or seasons. All of those things are categorical data because they can be grouped by categories, and numerical data can be grouped by numbers. And you guys can see here the difference. The numerical data has the numbers right here, whereas the categorical data has the categories right here. All right, guys, so that was our vocab for the day. What we're going to do is we're going to get into a few examples. And I want you to look at this example here with me. This is a stem and leaf plot. So remember our vocabulary word for stem and leaf plot. And basically it's a plot graph where the stems are the tens place and the leaves are the ones place. So if we look at this example here, the stem is 10. So we have 2, 3, and 5. So we have 2 tens, 3 tens, and 5 tens. Let's see how many or what number does 2 tens make? 20, very good. What number does 3 tens make? 30. And what number does 5 tens make? 50, very good. And the leaves are like the ones place. So if we have 2 tens and a 1, what number is that? Very good, 21. If we have 2 tens and 2 ones, we have 22. Very good. If we have 3 tens and 7 ones, we have 37. Excellent job, fourth graders. So these are just stem and leaf plots. And basically, we are going to create our own stem and leaf plot using these numbers up here in this box. So I ask you guys to take out 2 different color markers. We're going to do brown and green, the color of the stem and the color of the leaves. So go ahead and everybody take around 10 seconds to take out these markers. You can use crayons, you can find colored pencils, just as long as you have a brown and a green. If you don't have a brown and a green, it's okay. You can use your pencil. All right, is everybody ready? Perfect. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to first look at all of our tens place. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab our brown and we're going to underline all of the tens. Now I know you guys don't have these with you, but I want you to see how I'm doing it. All right, so then we have 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, and 3. So I think our stems only go from 1, 2, and 3. I don't have any 40s, I don't have any 50s, I don't have any 60s, 70s, or 80s. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw our big stem like a plant. And just like this image right here, we are going to write out our tens place. So we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. We have 1, which is 12, 11, another 11, a 13. We have 2 tens, which are the 20 numbers, and we have 3 tens, right? So what we're going to do first is we're going to write out all of the leaves, the ones place, for the 10 values. So we're going to look at our first one that has groups of 110. Which numbers on here have only 1 10? Good, 12, 11, another 11, a 13. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to draw a little leaf. And on our leaf, we're going to categorize these numbers in order. So the first one we see is 11. So we're going to put a 1 here. And then we're going to cross that out. Do you guys see another 11 somewhere? Yes, right here. Very good. So we're going to put another 1. Because remember, we have 2 11s. We don't just write it one time. We've got 1, 2. All right. So our next, after 11, we go to, very good, 12. Do we have any 12s here? Ooh, 1 right here. So we're going to put a 2. Good. Do we have any more 12s? Nope. Do we have anything? Do we have 13s? I see a 13. Very good. So we're going to put a 3. Do we have any more single 10s? No, right? Very good. So now this stem leaf right here represents that we have 11, 11, 12, and 13. You guys see how we did that? Let's go ahead and practice on the second one. Again, draw out your leaf. And we have 2, so we got to look for 2 10s.
So I see a 210 right here. We have 23. Let's see. Do we have any 21s? Let's look. Remember, we want these in order. No 21s. Do we have any 22s? No 22s. Do we have any 23s? Ooh, I see one right here. So we're going to go ahead and cross that out. We're going to put 3. Very good. Do we have any 24s? Nope. 25s? Nope. 26? Ooh, I see one right there. Very good. So we're going to put a 6. Any 27s? Nope. 28s? Yep, we've got an 8. Very good. Any 29s? No 29s. So this stem leaf plot tells us that we have a 23, a 26, and a 28. Excellent job, fourth graders. Let's do our last leaf. All right, so our last leaf here, what we're going to do is we are going to find any 30s, which we have some remaining. And I want you guys to go ahead and take around 10 or 15 seconds to try and see if you can do this last stem leaf yourself. All right, fourth graders, you think you got it? All right, let's see. Do we have any 31s? Nope. 32s? Nope. 33s? Ooh, yeah, I see a couple of them. All right, so we're going to put a 3 here. And remember, we have two 33s, so we have to respect that and write the other 3 there. So we've got 33s. Do we have any 34s? Absolutely, we've got one right here. Do we have any 35s? Mm-hmm. Do we have any 36s? Nope. 37s? Nope. 38s? Yep. I'm gonna write him down here. And 39s? Yep, right there. So now we have completed our stem leaf plot table, guys. Very good. So just like the stem on a plant, these represent our tens place. The stems represent our tens. So we've got 1 10, 2 10s, and 3 10s in these numbers. And then, just like on a plant, the leaves represent our ones. So we know when we combine our tens with our ones, we create the numbers in the graph, and they're all in order. So we have 11, 11, 12, 13, 23, 26, 28, 33, 33, 34, 35, 38, and 39. Now I want to ask you guys, why do you think this stem leaf plot is important? How is this helpful? Very good, it's helpful because it tells us how many tens we have and how many ones we have, right? And it lists them all in order. So we're able to see which numbers we have repeated and which numbers we have the most of. And it also allows us to see how many tens we have so we can find the greatest number easily, right? And we can find the least number easily as well. So that's why these types of graphs are very helpful. Now, guys, that we know a little bit about graphs, we know what a stem leaf plot looks like, we're going to go ahead and solve a few problems together. Ready? Okay. Let's read this together. It says, the list shows the number of articles written by different reporters at a newspaper last month. Which dot plot displays the same data? Okay, so we have these numbers up here and we have the dot plots here. Remember our axes. So here's the numbers, and the numbers represent the number of, very good, the number of articles. So I'm going to take my highlighter out and I'm going to highlight my axes. And these represent the number of articles. And these on top are the articles written by reporters. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the same numbers up here, but the way we're going to do this is we're going to count how many of each we have, okay? So let's start with our first number, 0. Do we have any zeros? Very good. We only have 1 0 on this graph. You see it? We only have 1. So on 0, we're going to go ahead and we're going to write the number 1. 1. Just knowing that we have 1 0 in this data, which option can we automatically eliminate? Very good, guys. We can eliminate B because B, our 0 doesn't have a single dot on it. There's not 1 there. So we know that B is not right because there's not a dot there. There should be how many dots on 0? Very good, 1 dot on 0. Now let's go to 1. How many 1s do we have on our data? Very good, I only see 1, so we're going to cross that out. And just like we did for 0, we're going to write a 1 above the 1. You guys see that? All right, let's go to 2. How many 2s do we have? Let's count them. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, we have 4 2s, so above 2, we're going to make sure we write the number 4. So just looking at 2, I see one that we can eliminate. Do you guys see the same thing? All right, look at here and tell me which one can we eliminate? Which one does not have 4 dots above the 2? Very good, C. So let's get rid of C. Let's move on to 3. Do we see any 3s on our data? No, I don't see any 3s either. So we got to go ahead and write 0 above 3. We're going to make sure 3 has 0 dots. Very good. Let's go to 4. All right, so we have 1, 2 4s. So above 4, we're going to write 2 because we should have 2 dots. Okay, so we're just looking at A and D, and A and D have 2 dots above 4. Very good. Let's go to 5. We have 1, 2. We've got 2 5s. So we're going to make sure we write the number 2 above 5. Okay, so A and D have 2 above 5. Let's go to 6. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 6s. So we're going to write the number 4 above 6. Very good. They both have 4 dots above 6. Do we have any 7s? No, we have 0 7, so I'm going to write 0 above 7. Good. Do we have any 8s? Yeah, we've got 1 8, so I'm going to write 1 above 8. And wow, I already know which one is right and which one is wrong. Is it A or D? Which one has 1 dot above 8? D, very good. So our answer is D. Do you guys see how we did that? Very good. Yes, we just took our data and we went ahead and counted by order. And we counted and we found how many of each were in this data set here. And we just wrote that number above the dots. And we wanted to make sure that the number that we wrote above the dot matches the number of dots in the graph. So if we wrote 1 above the dot, we should have 1 dot. If we wrote 4 above the dots, we should have 4 dots down there. If we wrote 0 above the dot, we should have 0 dots there. And so we went ahead and we did it with all of this data in the set, and we were able to find the right answer. All right, guys, let's look at our last question together. This is a stem leaf plot. So it says, the table shows the total numbers of runs of different baseball teams scored in one season. So here's our teams, R, S, T, U, V, W, and X. And here are their runs that are scored. And here it says, which stem leaf plot displays these data? So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our stems and we're going to look at our leaves. Now remember, our stems tells us what? Very good, our tens. So above stem, we're going to write tens. Above the word stem, we're going to write the word tens. Okay, and then above the word leaf, the leaf represents the, very good, the one. So above the word leaf, we're going to write the word ones. And remember, this in this box is our key. This is our key. And our key tells us that 6 to 1 means 61 runs. 6 stems and 1 leaf is 61 runs. And this is our key to let us know how our stem leaf plot works. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our stems. Our stems begin with 6, right? Our stems begin with 6. Now look at these. Some of these are really weird. Here we have 6, 9, 10, 6, 7, 8, 6, 8. Is this correct? No, why is this not correct, fourth graders? Look at the stems. Why is that not correct? Yeah, because the stems are out of order, right? And we know that even though we may have 61 and 64, our stem stays the same, but our leaf would change, right? We would have a 1, and then maybe we would have a 4 right there. So we know that's incorrect. Let's look at D. Is D correct? That's not either, right? Very good. So just looking at our stems, we were able to narrow down to 2 options. So now we have ones and ones. Very good. So now we have C and B. So let's look at our ones in both of these examples here. So let's see. C says that we have a 61. Do we have a 61 on here? Very good. Says we have a 64. Do we have a 64 on our table? Says that we have a 65. Do we have a 65 here? We do. Says that we have a 72. Do we have a 72? Yes. Says we have an 84. Do we have an 84? Very good. And then it says we have a 92. Do we have a 92? Yeah, we do. But then look, it says we have 10 stems, which is 10. But then on leaves, we don't have anything. How many ones do we need to have 100? Yeah, we need to have a 0 right here. Well, let's check B. Does B shows the same data? 1, 4, 5 on the 6th, yep. 2 for the 7, 84, 92, and wow, it shows us that we have 10 stems, which is a tens place, and we have 0 leaves. So that tells us that we have 100. So our answer is B. Very good, fourth graders. Okay, everyone, so the math challenge for the week is to make your own stem leaf plot graph using these numbers. Remember the stem, guys. The stem tells you your place value, so that's your tens. And your leaves tell you your ones place. So those are your ones. Remember to make sure that all the numbers are in correct order. I'm going to go ahead and give everyone a couple of seconds to jot down these numbers, and good luck with the math challenge.
All right, marvelous friends, that is the end of our math video today. I hope that you guys were able to learn a little bit with me and that you learned something, you learned new strategies, and you're able to do the math challenge to where you can apply what you learned in today's video in that challenge. Remember, guys, always do the math challenge. It's a simple question for you to just answer throughout the week to be able to gauge what you learned in today's video, okay? Everyone have a great week. Be safe, fourth graders, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.